Welcome to Module 1 of the T-TESS Refresher Training. In this first model, you will deepen your understanding of the T-TESS process. So to start off, please consider what are the strengths of the T-TESS process and the places that need improvement. The purpose of this activity is to think about ways to celebrate and strengthen T-TESS and its impact on teacher and student performance. Take about 3 minutes to respond to both of these prompts. Pause the video and you'll see a link on the third slide of your Google slide presentation included in this module. Include your answers at that link and then join me back here when the activity is complete. Let's talk briefly about the target for conducting T-TESS evaluations. When we talk about learner outcomes, we're referring to the TEKS or other standards. As the appraiser in the classroom, I'm listening for the learner outcomes or lesson objectives as the anchor for the appraisal. What are the outcomes? How are they communicated to students? What evidence is there to support that students understood the outcomes? These outcomes drive the entire evaluation. Next, I'm collecting evidence regarding the teacher's behavior and how they are aligned to the learner outcomes. What is the teacher saying and doing that aligns with and supports the learning objectives? For example, how is a lesson structured and paced to facilitate student mastery towards the learner outcomes? How do questions, technology, etc. align with learner outcomes? I'm also collecting evidence regarding what students say and do throughout the lesson, using the learner outcomes as a filter for how students are behaving and responding to instruction. There is a direct cause and effect relationship between what the teacher says and does and what the students say and do. Again, all is linked to the learner outcomes. The next slide extends this learning. Throughout the lesson, the appraiser is collecting evidence to show how students are moving towards mastery of the established learner outcomes. This means that the appraiser is in tune with other aspects of the lesson, including where the class is with a unit of study, just the beginning of the unit, the middle of the unit, or the end of the unit. All this evidence is captured at the beginning, middle, and end of the lesson. Thus, observing the entire lesson is key. The T-TESS Triangle represents the focus of lesson observations and appraisals. Each observation is anchored in the lesson outcomes. What do we expect students to know and be able to do as a result of this lesson? That said, why is the T-TESS Triangle the focus for observations and appraisals? And what does this mean for you, the teacher? Pause this video and go to the Google Slides. Input your answer in the link available on the 5th slide of the Google slide presentation. When you have finished, come back to this video. As discussed in the last 2 slides, this graphic represents the essence of lesson observations. Let's read about how the T-TESS Triangle is represented in an expanded view of the instructional cycle. Pause this video and read through pages 3 through 5 in the training guide found at the link in the 5th slide of your Google slide presentation. When you have finished reading, come back to the video. Given what is conveyed in this graphic, what does this mean for you, the teacher, in relation to planning, executing, and reflecting on lessons? To complete this module, answer the question in the quiz on slide 7 of the Google slide presentation. Once you have completed the quiz, you may move on to Module 2.